All right, let's go for the boost. I don't know. Maybe it's not the right play. I should probably go for a rock slide. I think they shield either way, though. Yeah, they shield either way. Okay.
Done.
Oh, we get a boost. Oh, wait. Hold up. Hold up. All right, let me pause this audio, too. Dude, we got to move through as well. That's huge. Oh, yo. Let's go. Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I was out of town this weekend, so unfortunately I couldn't put out this video any earlier, but I had an incredible run in Flying Cup. The last time I had a great run, it was when I went 23-2, I believe, in Ultra League using double fighters. And this time around, I went 22-3. One of my Pokemon in the team was actually underpowered for a good chunk of it because I ran out Stardust. So if that doesn't say how strong this team is, I don't know what does. But this meta itself is pretty small and the top of the meta is very strong. And when I was theory crafting for this team, I was like, you know, this team might work. I look at PvPoke and it's actually the top 3 ranked Pokemon. And the teams that usually beat this is actually the same team as mine, but just in a different order. So the team I ran is a Molga with a Shadow Aerodactyl and a Skarmory. Important to note is that you are running Steel Wing on the Skarmory because it's super relevant for this meta. And my Molga was one that was actually underleveled. You'll see in these clips, it was in the 1300s when I started just because I just ran out of Stardust and could not power up any further, but it still got me plenty of wins. Aerodactyl doesn't have to be Shadow, but the Shadow just hits a little bit harder and I had a pretty solidly rank one, so I decided to give it a shot. Before we get into the rest of the footage, a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you would also like to have early access to my strategies and lineups or see behind the scenes footage of my battles, feel free to sign up in the link down below. The thing with this team is that you're not going to run into a lot of bad leads. One of the worst leads you could probably run into is Shadow Aerodactyl and Altaria, but everything else is not super relevant that might check a Molga, one of them being probably Gligar or Gliscor, but you don't really run into a lot of those. And here, what I usually do is I throw a move at the incoming Molga and then swap over to my Aerodactyl. My opponent actually didn't even shield there, and then now they're met with a Skarmory and they're going to quit out. The big thing here is your Aerodactyl pretty much could beat almost anything on the safe swap besides Skarmory. So what happens is you end up losing matches where you have someone that beats a Molga, which is really rare. It's really just Aerodactyl and Altaria, or maybe even Dragonite to a degree, just because they just outpace you with the fast move damage. But your Aerodactyl can usually win switchback unless they have a Skarmory in the back. And usually when that happens, they have an Emolga as the third Pokemon and they just lose, right? So I actually do end up winning one of those matchups later on, so just stay tuned for that. But everything else in this meta, for the most part, is probably just considered spice at best, but non-optimal. Altaria, maybe Dragonite to a degree, and maybe Mantine to a degree are pretty solid outside these top 3 Pokemon. But really outside of Emolga, Skarmory, Aerodactyl, and the Dragons, everything else is not that great. So you tend to get a lot of auto wins just because of team comp alone, just to strengthen your team. So Pelipper, one of those examples, you know, you take neutral from the weather balls, but you resist a hurricane, so you don't really have to worry too much. You just shield once, and you should be good. But taking that double super effective to electric is kind of brutal. But yeah, Molga doesn't really get walled off by much, besides the ground flyers, but I haven't seen a single one of those. My opponent here actually comes in with a Air/Skarmory, which is kind of interesting. I get a lot of energy here, and this is really good because whenever you have switch advantage with this team, you usually do pretty solid, and I could just tank all these moves. I resist pretty much all of them anyway on Aerodactyl as well, which is not as strong. And here comes a Mana Buzz. Oh, is it good? Yeah. Aerodactyl just really strong here. You don't really even need to double move this Aerodactyl. It is nice to have that ancient power once in a while, but it's the same amount of energy to get to that as the Rock Slide, and Rock Slide just better guaranteed damage. But once in a while, if you know they're definitely going to shield, throwing that ancient power to potentially get a boost can come in handy. I've gotten boost maybe like 2 or 3 times, but not a ton. All right. Yeah, so Skarmory here with that Stealing, it's, I don't know, it makes the Altaria matchup a little tougher, but I do like to bring in the Skarmory here because if they have a Moga in the back, you kind of just lose if you bring in the Aerodactyl, because then they just get a bunch of energy off of you or they win switch. But in this situation, this Pelipper is actually running a Water Gun, I believe. They're just not going to do very well here when you have both Aerodactyl and Moga healthy. And pretty much if you have Aerodactyl and a Moga, and you have Switch advantage, you win. So having those pairings alive and well is really nice. And yeah, we're going to finish it off here. Mantine, honestly a little better than Pelipper in my opinion, just because you do have the Ice Beam coverage and the Bubble Beam baits as well. Despite being double weak to electric, it's actually not too bad. And it's a little bit bulkier than Pelipper too. So I'd say I'd probably put it as like a B tier in this meta. But still very, very relevant, I think. All right. Cranberries out of here. Yeah. And, you know, really honestly having the Ice Beam just threatens Moga. So, and it gets the energy pretty quickly with those bubbles. I'm going to shield just in case it's Ice Beam, and it is. And then now they come in Altaria here. This is actually going to be kind of tight because they could potentially get to a Moonblast, which they do. So I'm going to have to farm a little extra energy here before they throw Sky Attack. I know the bubbles aren't going to threaten too much, so I just need to get to Discharge before they get to Bubble Beam, and we're good to go. So definitely some tighter matchups. Not like this team just blows every team out of the water, but as you can see here, a 5-0 to start on my first set with this team. Again, running an underpowered Moga. All right, another Skarmory lead, and now they come in with Dragonite. I decide to come in with my Aerodactyl here, which I don't know if it's the best idea or not. Again, if they have that Moga in the back, it puts you in a tough spot because you are down shields. But I do go straight for the Rock Slide, and I come in with my own Moga. I can pretty much no shield anything here, but I decided to throw a Discharge early, and they shield, which is kind of huge. And then now they come in with Altaria, and yeah, we're able to take it out with the Skarmory in all likelihood. So this is Skarmory with Double Dragon, which was actually a team I made back when Flying Cup first dropped. I'm not saying this person actually even took my idea or is using my team, because the meta is so small that anyone could have came up with that team. But it was a team that worked pretty well for me at the time. I didn't have a Moga at the time either, but had I known, had a Moga and Shadow Aerodactyl, whew, I would definitely use that team the first time around. But yeah, so anyway, able to finish off that Skarmory, and now we go into a Shadow Aerodactyl here. I kind of misplayed this a little bit. I didn't realize till later, but what you should probably do is go straight to your own Aerodactyl without taking too much Rock Throw damage, because the Rock Throw damage is much worse than Steel Wing damage. Steel Wing damage here is not a big deal because I could just Thunder Shock down, right? And take Resisted, but taking all those super effective Rock Throws is quite a lot. All right, so we do get the farm down here, and I'm just going to spam that Discharge because almost everything's going to take a lot of damage from it, and they do shield. And now I come in with my Skarmory, and here we go. So this is the issue with this team. The team that beats it is the same team comp, except just in a different order. And it's the order that beats you, right? So it's the Aerodactyl in the lead, the Skarmory in the back, and the Moga in the back. We kept it kind of close still. Oh, well, I guess the Aerodactyl's still healthy. But, yeah. So, again, showing how strong these Pokemon are, because the team that beats it is the same exact team, just in a different order. And if you run to the Skarmory lead of that version, then obviously you win it, right? All right, so I come in here with my Aerodactyl, and I finish it off. And here's the thing. Aerodactyl still dishes out so much damage even against his counters. So you still force shields and get shields back, which is absolutely huge. And then they go for the farm down here. I could either come in with the Moga or come in Skarmory, and I decided to come in Skarmory because I don't have to shield the Ice Beam. They go for the Ice Beam, and they do. And then now they come in with their own Skarmory, and yeah, that's gonna be GG's. All right, Altaria, definitely one of the harder ones. Altaria lead with Skarmory and a Moga in the back is also pretty tough, because you have the same alignment issue, except just Altaria in the back. But anyway, this is one of those times where I do go for the Ancient Power because I figure they're probably going to shield, and I do get a boost actually, so I do, that next rock set does a good chunk of damage. But it's one of those times where you're like, there's almost no way they don't shield here, so but it's 90,000 dust for the shadow version to unlock, so it's a little bit on the pricier end. All right, we go for Brave Bird here. This is really bad because Thunderbolt would do a good chunk of damage, but they actually go Ancient Power here, which is kind of interesting. And still super effective, but Shadow Zapdos is just so glassy, and we're able to finish it off with the Skarmory still healthy in the back. All right, we have another Shadow Aerodactyl in lead. This time around, I do recognize the swap straight away, and they actually come in with a Shadow Zapdos. That's really nice because you could win that for sure. And then now I go for the Ancient Power again because good chance they shield with 2 shields remaining, and no boost this time, but that's fine. It's good to just go for the chance here. Now we have the alignment we want. And let's see what they have in the back. If they have a Moga, it could be tough, but it's actually a Mana Buzz, and they are going to concede right there. So we go 4-1 there. Again, this team just really killing it. Unfortunately, it's not a rank season. Otherwise, would have really climbed here, but it's all good. All right, we come in with the Aerodactyl here, and again, Aerodactyl just doesn't really lose too much here as long as you have shields, so I'm just going to farm all the way down and get switch advantage back, right? That's really the key part here. And I'm going to go straight for Rock Slides here. Probably could go Ancient Power, but I decided to just go for the guaranteed damage, and we get to another Rock Slide. That's massive, and we let that go. They shield again. We get hit by Discharge. Not the Enderworld, and then I'm going to shield this one, and I gotta watch out for them coming back in, and they do come in here, and we do throw a Discharge here. Probably should have saved it, to be honest, but I do live a Discharge. I might even live a Thunderbolt. Let's see, and here comes a Thunderbolt, and we barely live it, getting off the Sky Attack to finish off the Amoga. These battles are super fast too, which is definitely appreciate. All right, so another Mantine in the lead here, and we counter swap the Altaria. Again, Aerodactyl is a little bit better of a safe swap because you definitely can beat the Altaria as long as you shield. Whereas with Skarmory, you could potentially still lose it. And I didn't really want a shield here because I figured I had to burn a shield on my Moga. And if they shield, they just wouldn't switch, which is exactly what they do here. And now I come in with my Aerodactyl because I don't really want them to farm at this point. And my Moga has a lot of play against pretty much anything in the back end. So if I grab their shields or do some damage here, we're okay. So let's see what they have in the back here. And it's going to be a Togekiss. So that's kind of interesting. So I'm going to burn out my timer a little bit and just build up to 2 discharges. They actually come in with the Altaria. So I am going to just Thunder Shock it all the way down. It's super bulky. A Charm does go through, but I do believe I live one of them. And I come in with another Discharge. And yeah, we finished it off. First Togekiss we've seen. I think that was the only Togekiss I've seen all week. All right, another Shadow Aerodactyl. You just swap straight away. And we still have switch advantage now, which is absolutely huge. And their Aerodactyl is like pretty much very low HP at this point. So we could just no shield here. My timer's going to come up a little bit sooner than them, so potentially I could Brave Bird eventually, but I think based on how much Dragon Breath damage this is going to do, I think I just go straight for the Sky Attacks for guaranteed damage. And we swap over here to just farm this all the way down. Unfortunately, I do have the shield here, but the Aerodactyl does not have a move ready, and I have no idea what they have in the back end here. Oh, I believe they came in with the Aerodactyl, which is why I took a good chunk of damage there. And now comes a Shadow Zapdos. They do have a shield advantage, so I do have to burn through the shields, but I do have, what do you call it? I do have a energy advantage here. So we do have 2 back-to-back discharges at this point, and this should be enough. Shadow Zapdos is quite on the glassy end. No, it actually lives. So that's not good. But we finish off, we try to finish it off with the Skarmory. Unfortunately not, they swap out, but able to still finish it off. All right, going against bad hit here. Another Shadow Aerodactyl lead coming in with the Skarmory. Now I'm scared because I'm like, okay, they probably have a Moga in the back, and if that's the case, we lose. But let's see what we can do. Last time around, I stayed in too long in the lead. This time around, I'm just going to Thunder Shock all the way down and have a lot of energy banked, and let's see what we do. I guarantee that I probably get a shield here. I'm going to try to swap over to my Skarmory, and here comes a Moga. So again, same team, different order. Typically going to be a loss here. I'm going to go straight for the Brave Bird, though. reduce the farm they can build off of me, and Brave Bird still does a good chunk. But yeah, this Amoga, even if I was fully powered up, would not be enough to take this out. My only hope here is to maybe Thundershock all the way down. But I don't even do that. That's probably a misplay. Yeah, I need Thundershock all the way down, but I don't think I survived long enough to get 2 off either way. All right, so we go into another Skarmory lead. Very solid, very easy to play this out. You just throw a discharge if they shield. If they shield, you can just swap in here, to be honest, because now you could just double shield and maintain switch advantage. And I just throw a Rock Slide here to guarantee the damage here, or force their shield. They don't shield, that's fine. And then now they're actually very, very low. I'm trying to see what I even come in with here. Yeah, I come in with the Skarmory actually, and they're in a really bad matchup now. Because I could tank the move from their Skarmory a little better. And either way, this is a good spot to be in. So we essentially have the same team, except in this situation, I have the alignment rather than them having the alignment. All right, and yeah, we finish it off there. All right, another 4-1 sets. Like I said, this team's killing it. All right, I think this player's name is Call Me Clutch. I do remember this specific one. All right, so very solid lead. Same situation. We just swap over, come in Aerodactyl, farm it down, shield once. Pretty staple situation. I come in with the Skarmory here. We go straight for the Rock Slide. Same deal. Do whatever we can, and we do a good chunk of damage here. If they have an Aerodactyl in the back, we're in a good spot. But let's see. All right, I come in with my Skarmory to tank the Brave Bird, which probably isn't necessary because my Amoga's pretty healthy. And now they come in with an Altaria, so it's actually a little different, which a little tougher. But I do come in with my Amoga here, and I'm going to shield, and it ends up being a Sky Attack, which is a little unfortunate. I go for the Thunderbolt. It's going to do a little more damage, expecting that I probably don't get to another charge move, but maybe they do. No, they go for Moonblast, so this is the right call. I'm now trying to farm this all the way down. Unfortunately, stealing just taking a while, and then I don't get to the Brave Bird. So we finally lose, actually, to a team that's not the mirror outside of just the alignment issue. Call Me Clutch. Came in real clutch there. I think I'm outplayed. I misplayed it myself too by bringing in the Skarmory there, because I think I just bring the Moga would have been fine. My Skarmory would have been healthy. But I took a lot of damage on Brave Bird. I also didn't bait, and they shielded my Brave Bird. So really well played by my opponent there. But it's actually the only team I lost to this day on this 25 set of games. That wasn't the top 3 Pokemon on PvPoke. All right. So in this situation, they come in Aerodactyl here, and I just farm all the way down. They have 2 shields, but yeah, those 2 shields won't help them too much there. All right, another Skarmory lead. This time around, I come in Aerodactyl. I think I'm just scarred from previous Altarias that beat me, beat my Skarmory or came close to it. So we actually grab a shield here, which is kind of nice. And then I just no-shield and Moonblast, because they have a Skarmory in the back. I don't really want to give it energy. And if they have a Amoga in the back, I want my Amoga with energy to deal with theirs, right? I'm going to shield this, but there's no way they come in Skarmory. I have the mirror match, so I'm not too worried. Actually, they do come in Skarmory. That is kind of wild. I have no idea what they have in the back at this point, and it's actually a Mantine, so this is going to be really bad for them. I have doubled up here, and yeah, going to be not so great. So in that situation, I actually did come in Altaria with my Aerodactyl. You could definitely make that play, but I think coming in Skarmory and just getting Ranger Skarmory is probably a little safer play. But you do have to kind of win switch in that situation as well. All right, another Mantine in the lead. They come in Aerodactyl. We know how this goes. And I'm actually going to shield because Mantine is not nearly as strong against Skarmory as Moga is. So I can actually do quite a bit of damage here or get shields back. And I do drop a Brave Bird. Now I'm going to get to a Sky Attack. This is a good spot to be in. And they're going to farm me all the way down. So they can't stack 2 Ice Beams though. So I'm going to shield 1 Ice Beam and then just try to finish it off. And what do they have in the back? They have an Altaria. So we're going to throw 1 Discharge here. And they no shield, which is kind of interesting. So I'm going to throw another one. I really want that shield. I really want them to throw their energy so I could just fast move down. And it looks like they're trying to fast move me down here. This is actually really bad because if they get that Moonblast, I'm kind of in trouble. But they actually get a little too greedy and I just get another discharge off. It was actually a really good play, because if they got to that Moonblast, I probably would be done for on the Aerodactyl, but unfortunately, yeah, didn't work out. All right, Altaria in the lead with a Skarmory safe swap, counter swap. This is not good. This is kind of the same situation as the Aerodactyl in the lead, except just Altaria in the lead. They do shield though, and they throw their energy, but I get to my move in time, which is really nice. So we are going to win switch here. That is huge. All right, let's see what they come in with here, and it's a Drifblim. That's perfect, because my Amoga is going to be pretty solid here. I'm going to shield the Icy Wind. And now they come in the Altaria here. I could probably safely go Brave Bird. I have energy on my Amoga, so it should be okay, but let's see what we do here. I'm going to tank all these moves. Man, maybe I just go for Sky Attack. Sky Attack actually is a safer play here, just for the guaranteed damage. They're already quite low as well, so Brave Bird might not be necessary, and they actually do no shield it. And at this point, even though I had to move, I want the energy here so I could just double up on moves. So I purposely let my Skarmory go instead of throwing the energy, because I don't want the Drifblim to have any extra energy. And now we're going to go for Thunderbolt. I'm going to do some guaranteed damage here, take it out, and yeah, finish off the Altaria. So we end on another 4-1. Like I said, team is really, really solid. And we go into our final set here. Now Skarmory in the lead. Very easy. The Amoga safe swap. You just throw a discharge and you go Shadow Aerodactyl to finish it off. And here it comes. I'm going to tank this shield discharge. That's okay. And then now we come in. They come in Skarmory here. We go straight for the Rock Slide. You can always go Ancient Power here, but a lot of these Skarmories don't shield, so it just doesn't make too much sense to go Ancient Power. And then now they come in with their own Aerodactyl, and we know how this is. Same team. Bad alignment for them. We finish this off. I'm going to shield this, actually. It's going to do more damage than a Brave Bird, so why not? And then now, yeah, they're going to concede. All right, another Skarmory in the lead. Dude, easy leads, man. Amoga in the lead is very, very strong in my opinion. You really just have to worry about those dragons and those Aerodactyls, and that's about it. If you run into anyone with Gliscor, props to them for running some spice, but typically speaking, you're not going to see that. All right, so this time around, I play a little differently. I shield my Amoga and just go for another discharge because I know I'm ahead on energy, and that just Rock Slide it down. Either way is fine. And actually, yeah, we take out their Skarmory there, which is kind of nuts. So able to finish that off, and now we have another Amoga in the lead here. And this situation, you kind of just want to shield up. And they actually go Thunderbolt, which is a bold move, because if I no shielded, then they can Thundershock me down, which I've done that in a different set before. But in this situation, it puts me in a good spot because I did shield, and now I'm ahead on energy. And I should come in with my Aerodactyl here. I kind of want to just bait out their Skarmory if they have one, but they actually have their own Aerodactyl. So this is kind of nice. I could safely go for the Ancient Power here. And let's see if they shield or not, and they do not. And now they come in with an Articuno. Very spicy. Unfortunately, I do have the Skarmory in the back, which is going to handle it pretty well. All right. This is looking dire. It's another Shadow Aerodactyl with the counter swap Skarmory. If they have a Amoga in the back, I'm kind of in trouble. But we did get a shield. This is good. Getting a shield here is huge, because now we can potentially just farm all this way down, especially if this is Brave Bird, and it is absolutely huge. Now we can farm a lot of energy, and they do have the Shadow Aerodactyl still coming back in. I'm going to go... Oh, no, they come in with Amoga. This is actually huge, because now they don't have the alignment they want. And this is the team that has constantly beat me, right? 2 out of 3 losses was this team. And we finally might have a win con here. And here it comes. We come in with the Skarmory to finish off the Aerodactyl. Them shielding my Aerodactyl safe swap was the key to my victory there. So, even the team with the alignment in the mirror match can still be beaten. Which is why this team, in my opinion, is very, very strong. My opponent is going straight for the Drill Peck, which is a little odd, but I kind of figure it wasn't a Thunderbolt, so I'm going to no shield. It's kind of easy, actually, because we both have the same fast move and charge move. So if I'm not at a Thunderbolt, there's no way they're at a Thunderbolt, right? I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt on the second one, and they actually go for one as well. I'm just going to shields, or no shields. It's not a Drill Peck. I don't survive it, but shield advantage here is pretty nice, and now I come in, and they do not have the alignment they want. It's actually pretty much a mirror team, except Zapdos instead of Amoga. But this puts me in a pretty good spot here. I am going to throw the Sky Tech. They pretty much can't Steel Wing me down, so it's not terrible here. They do throw the energy as well. 1 rock size should be enough. I actually do get to Brave Bird, which is kind of huge, because that's going to do a good chunk of damage. I might just be able to fast move down, and we do. And that is our last set, and we finish off on another 5-0. So like I said, probably one of my best runs in GBL in a single day, 22-3. Anyway, if you're watching this live, then there's probably not a ton of time left in Flying Cup, but if you want to give it a shot, feel free to. My apologies again. I was out of town on a wedding this weekend, so unable to record this any sooner. But hope you all have a great rest of your day. Best of luck in the rest of this interlude season, and I'll catch y'all next time.